Imagine landing at an airport that takes almost half of an entire nation. That's not an exaggeration, but this is the real story of Tuvalu. A nation so tiny that its international airport practically slices across the island, leaving barely any space for homes, schools, or markets, wherein the children of this country use the airport as a playground when there is no activity. And the capital Funafati isn't a bustling city, but a long snake-like strip of land, narrow, fragile, and surrounded by the endless Pacific Ocean. Tuvalu is a home to just about 11,000 people, yet it carries the burden of representing millions across the globe whose homes are threatened by rising sea water. This nation is not just shrinking, it's disappearing. And now, in a desperate and a futuristic move, Tuvalu is preparing to move online, creating a digital replica of their entire country, so their culture, their identity can survive even if the land does not. Its foreign minister Simon Kof once stood knee-deep in sea water while addressing the world, sent a chilling reminder. He said, Tuvalu may be the first country in history to vanish, not because of war, but because of climate change. Have you ever heard of a country that might disappear from the world map within your lifetime? Yes, you heard that right. This is not a scene from a movie. This is a reality of Tuvalu, one of the smallest and most endangered nations on the earth. Before we dive deeper, hello and welcome, I am Gaurang Kadam and you are watching Lokmat Times. Do hit the bell icon because today's story is about a country fighting for its survival and you need to hear the story till the end. So Tuvalu is a tiny island nation in the Pacific Ocean, halfway between Australia and Hawaii. With just over 26 square kilometers of land, it is the fourth smallest country in the world. To give you the perspective, the entire country is smaller than many airports in the entire world. And talking about its population, just around 11,000 people, that's even less than a small town in India. But here is the shocking part. Tuvalu may become the first country in the world to be wiped out by the climate change. Rising sea levels are swallowing its land inch by inch. The highest point on Tuvalu is just 4.6 meters above the sea level. That's shorter than a double-decker bus. Now you might be wondering, what is life like in Tuvalu? Here people live a simple island life. Fishing is their main source of food and coconuts grow everywhere. They even play football on grounds that sometimes flood when the tide is high. The main island Funafati has a runway so narrow that kids use it as a playground when the planes aren't landing. In the last 30 years, sea levels in Tuvalu have risen by nearly 6 inches, a staggering change for a country that barely rises above the sea level. The ocean here is swallowing the land at a rate of about 5 millimeters every year, which is already 1.5 times faster than the entire global average. NASA's latest analysis say that Tuvalu experiences 5 high tide flood days in a year. But by the 2050s, that number could rise to an alarming 25 flood days annually. But as time passes, the number of floods per year will rise to 65 flood days per year by the mid-century. And soon after, Tuvalu will experience 100 out of 365 days as flood days due to the climate rapid changes. While dealing with all negatives, here is one mind-blowing fact. Tuvalu has its own internet domain which is called .tv. The country earns millions of dollars by leasing the rights to .tv websites. In fact, this money helps Tuvalu run its government. The government has already started planning for the worst. So now the Tuvalu country is creating a digital version of the entire nation. Yes, a metaverse Tuvalu. So that even if the islands vanish, the culture, the language, the history, and mainly the identity of Tuvaluans will live in the virtual world. A nation preparing to exist online because it may not exist on land. Yes, that's the future we are heading into. And here's another heartbreaking reality. Some Tuvaluans are slowly migrating, especially to New Zealand and Australia, because their homeland is shrinking. So imagine being forced to leave your birthplace not because of war, not because of poverty, but because of the ocean which is swallowing it. The world has made promises at climate conferences to help Tuvalu. But for the people living there, time is running out. By the year 2100, scientists have already warned that Tuvalu may be completely uninhabitable. That's less than 75 years from now on. So now here is the big question. Will Tuvalu survive or will it become the first nation to disappear beneath the waves? And here is what I want you to think. Tuvalu's fight is not just Tuvalu's problem. Rising sea levels, melting ice caps and extreme weather, it affects all of us. What's happening to Tuvalu today could happen to any one of us and any city in the entire world. Mumbai, New York, Tokyo or Sydney. If you care about the planet, if you care about the future, let Tuvalu's story be your wake-up call. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends and subscribe to Lokmat Times for more such eye-opening stories. Because the story of Tuvalu is not about a sinking country. It's about a sinking future for all of us.